Are we at the top yet? So we just got the non-farm payroll report. Came in mixed. I mean, the numbers came in higher, but it would seem that the unemployment rate was down and wages were kind of, fair. So even still, markets liked it, at least to this point. Equities are staring down the barrel of 17 out of 19 positive weeks. Bonds up for the third straight week. It's like they knew something ahead of time. Fed futures are pricing 84% chance of a rate cut in June. It was about 75 last week. Bitcoin record high. I mean, I feel like when I go through these and I talk about this, I'm like, wow, we're really in the middle of something. This is the only time it really hits me because, bonds are up now and obviously equities are at highs. Bitcoin's at record closing highs. Demand's picking up for these spot ETFs. And there's this April halving event coming up too. And then we got gold. Gold continues to go higher. Of course, it went higher again today because bonds went higher. So, I mean, and then the only bad thing on here is Apple. Apple had a big drop this week. Apple hasn't moved for the most part this week, stuck around 170, and they were down on this China sales. Is this oversold? What do you think?
I mean, compared to, I don't know if Apple's oversold, but compared to the rest of the market, it's oversold.
I mean, as usual, I get it. It's everything is perfectly priced and where it should be. But I mean, is this? I guess we've asked this before, but is this it? I mean, it seems like Apple is not one of these. Are we gonna be talking about Mag 7, even though Apple's continuing to lag the rest of these? It's kind of fascinating to me. Gold, do you agree with this gold move, or are you fading it?
Well, nothing. We're just short some premium, and I'm not. I don't think the gold move is interesting. At least it's not interesting to me. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not fading it. My gold positions are tiny. I think Apple's way more interesting.
I believe the same.
Okay,
but I do have a little bit of short delta in gold.
Bitcoin? Do you guys have any Bitcoin positions on?
I mean, yeah, we're long. I mean, I'm long Bitcoin and ETH, but no, there's no real way to trade options on it other than that. I mean,
are you trading the future? I mean, I know you have. I know you're long, not trading the future. Okay.
No, but I am trading. I do have Coinbase positions on.
So despite everything we're talking about, Bitcoin's at highs, market's at highs, and I know a lot of people are expecting, turnarounds, bonds are on the move, and gold is obviously at highs. Vol is fair, and I kind of like when this happens, when the market is doing a lot of different things, and vol is kind of fair because I feel like there's opportunity on the other side at some point. So I always like to look at this metric, VVIX to VIX ratio. It's basically flat at the average of the last 7 years, which is around 5.8. So and VVIX is in the like 80s, right? And VIX is sitting around 14. So at some point or another, things are going to turn. I mean, for sure they will when we get to probably September. I've seen charts recently, and I remember this myself. Usually about 2 months out of the election, we start to get some volatility there. But other than that, who knows what's going to bring it in the meantime? Let's move to the next slide. Unless for whatever reason we get some kind of crazy thing for CPI report next week. So we had looking at SPX forward curve. We had non-farm payroll today. It was a little bit of pumped up vol. CPI is next week. I'm sure there's not a whole lot being priced in. As you can see, it's around 14. And that's kind of what it's been recently, right? Like, not a huge expected move, although we have moved on them. PPI is 2 days later. Then we got expiration in March. Just for fun, I put the Nvidia Analyst Day. I don't really expect anything to happen. I just wanted to mess with you on that one. And the Fed meeting, of course, is next week. 2 weeks from now, along with the start of the tournament, who I have no idea who's going to win the NCAA. Nobody does. And then the end of the quarter. So not a whole lot going on for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've come to a little bit of a lull here, right? But there'll always be something. And when you least expect it. That's when you usually get some volatility. When you're, looking for the right hook, you don't get it. It comes with the left. So you have to,
Yen's popping recently, raising rates for the first time in 17 years. Been on the move. It's on the move again today with bonds. So keep an eye on that. I think a lot of us are long it. I'm long it. I think a lot. Chris and Ilya are long it. That's all they could talk about.
Oh, we've been long. I've been long yen. This
is a 4-day up move of biblical proportions in the yen. You've been long the yen.
No. We are long the yen. I haven't covered any of it. I was thinking about this morning covering some of which puts do we have? The 67.5 puts. We should probably buy those. Those we don't need to be short anymore.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to
So I covered some 67.5 puts, but we still short the 68 puts. I'm sorry, 68.5 puts and 71 puts.
Nice. This first one's for you. This is for our boy who's on the tube last night. Nvidia keeps on climbing. Are option traders to blame?
I mean,
they seem to get blamed for everything. Might as well.
well, I don't think it's a blame. I think my response to this question is that the reason that people say this is because I think that if you are a high frequency firm making markets and options in Nvidia, you've kind of got to be long some stock in order to, I mean, you have to have something somewhere to sell. You need inventory.
In anticipation of the next trade?
I mean, if you were making markets, you'd be long stock.
Sure.
I mean, you're getting a lot of call buyers.
Be competitive without it to make markets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Target crushed earnings this week. Costco surprisingly missed earnings. I'm still a little shocked by that. Dollar's down for the 5th consecutive day yesterday. It's the biggest 2-day decline since mid-December. ECB left rates unchanged for the 4th consecutive meeting. This NVO, I'm telling you, I keep paying attention to these obesity stocks. They released the promising data on experimental daily weight loss pill. Stock took off yesterday. And then research on March 6th, correlation analysis across major indices. Check that out.